Hey, what's up, guys? Kiwizzle back with another video. So I kind of made a big decision. I want to start doing old school RuneScape, and I kind of wanted to talk about why I switched from old school RuneScape to RuneScape 3. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will kind of agree with me why they would switch from RuneScape 3 to old school. So the first reason why I kind of switched is because the community is better in old school RuneScape, and there's just a lot more people playing, doing things such as mini games, a lot more people willing to help you. RS3 is it's kind of like by yourself most of the time, and most people kind of know what I mean. So it's just a lot of people doing more stuff. You can find someone to do almost anything. You can talk, pretty much talk to anybody. So that's kind of one of the main reasons. The next reason is it's kind of like it's kind of hard to say. I kind of like combat a lot better in RS3, but in old school RuneScape, it seems like it's way more rewarding as far as you getting money and just GP. There's a lot more bosses. Like there's just so much more stuff to do in old school RuneScape rather than RS3. The bosses RS3, there's bosses, but let's kind of face it. It's yeah, you kind of need people for those bosses, and honestly, I could not find a way to do really anything. I maxed for like a good 2 years, and I still haven't done a good, Yakamaru or Beastmaster kill. So that's another thing. Another thing is, and I always wanted to get into this when I played RuneScape, was PKing. So I already know I'm not a great PKer. I never PK'd in my life, but that's one of the reasons why I want to come to old school RuneScape is to learn how to, be a great PKer. So, you know, PKing is pretty much dead in RS3. I mean, you'll find people, but it's like, dude, a fight lasts like literally 5 seconds, and then you got all the ability and stuff, so it's really not worth like doing it. And wilderness is just completely dead. So that's another thing. My fourth reason is that uh, it's kind of hard, but it's kind of like I like it being a bit slower than RS3. I like it being a lot slower. Like agility is not as fast. I enjoy training agility and alching at the same time. Um, I don't know what's the right word. It's like it's easier to multitask in old school RuneScape. So you can basically be doing Slayer and alching at the same time. You could be doing agility and alching at the same time, or Slayer and fletching at the same time. You can't really do that in RS3. You gotta like it's kind of like if you're doing one thing, you're doing one thing altogether. So you can't really do that. The next thing is that I don't know why, but it just seems like, and everyone could agree with me, they're pumping more updates into old school RS and than rather than RS3. We all know this is true. It's just yeah, it's that's it. Even though RS3 just got the PVM hub and everything like that, but still there's just so much more updates to old school RuneScape. It's crazy. A bunch of bug fixes. They're always adding new things. You know, it's crazy. Like if I'm right, see, I haven't like been delved into it, but it's like even just the quest. Like we got Monkey Madness Part 2. I think we got a Dragon Slayer Part 2 too, and I eventually want to get into that. But it's just it's just yeah, it's just more updates, and we all know this is true. The next thing is that, well, I like it how it's a lot more simpler than RS3. I'll be honest, I'm not like those big guys like Evil Lucario who can boss super easily on RS3. I just don't want that. I like it being a lot more simpler. I do kind of want to get into raids on this game. The raids in this game in old school RuneScape look a lot more fun than they do in like say something like Elite Dungeons, or or Yakumaru Beastmaster. I just feel like Theater of Blood looks a lot more fun, or the first one. I don't even remember the name of it, but those just look a lot more fun in my opinion than Elite Dungeons, and then you don't have to worry about using abilities or stuff like that. So eventually I'm gonna get to that point because I didn't really show off my account. I'm not really showing off my account in this video. Probably in the next video I'll do more like just how my account is. and stuff like that. So yeah. The next thing, which isn't really, oh, the next thing wasn't really a big deal, but it's just, I think I already said it. The community, it's just everybody's a lot more nicer. Everybody's a lot more willing to help. Everybody's doing more things. You could find someone that does almost anything, even the mini games, because like not everything is dead in old school RuneScape. Everything is dead in RS3. We all know that. Well, all mini games are dead, but all mini games in this are alive. Like something like Blast Furnace. No one does Blast Furnace in RS3, but everyone does it in old school RS. Um, Mining is, it's all right. Stuff as far as skills, and there's even though we don't have curses like Soul Split, but like we have stuff like Zaya, the special spells from Zaya. I don't even know them, but it's stuff like that. It keeps the game a bit more different. I'm not looking forward to no rune crafting or whatever it's called, but you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing I like is I, that I miss that they changed is just combat. I always wanted when I was a little and I didn't know too much about RuneScape. I always wanted the God swords, the Thanos God sword, the Sarah God sword, because I always thought it looked cool. But I was like, you know what? And honestly, I didn't have the money for members anyway. So and you know, Revolution of Combat came out, and then that was pretty much it for that. No one uses God swords in RS3. You know, it's like, yeah. And one thing I will say about RS3 or old school RS is that PVMing is pretty much the best way to get money. It's 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 inevitable. It's always like it's gonna be like that. Slayer is good, but it's not as good as you think. PVMing is the best way to get money in that game. Pretty much all the like end game gears pretty much over one build. Not to say that old school RS isn't the same, but you could do something like Slayer and get like a really good drop, or it's just yeah, it's just like that. But yeah, and my next thing is skills are just a lot more fun. You get rewarded for doing a lot of things like I forgot what's the name of it. Oh, the graceful outfit for agility. We don't have nothing like that in RS3 because obviously we don't need that because we get our sprint energy super fast. But it's just like I miss the old things like people using whips all the time, people using the Ceridorman God Sword to heal. It's like you don't get none of that in RS3. So that's pretty much it. I'm kind of gonna wrap it up now. So this is probably one of my. I'm probably gonna continue to do videos on old school RS. I'm probably gonna do a series for Road to PKing or just regular account updates. So you guys please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I sounded in my video. I promise you, I'm trying to do better. I know I stutter a lot or I say a lot of uhs. I'm trying not to, but you know, it just got to get better at what I do. So, well, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.